Hi, welcome to my Breakout EDU game, Save Engineering, Save the World. The story's a little long, so you can read it if you have a chance, but the idea is you've created a time machine, your evil boss has stolen it to erase all of engineering history. You must foil his plans and rescue the plans that are stored in his office before the 60 minutes are up. This game uses the 3-digit lock, the 4-digit lock, the directional lock, and 2 5-letter word locks. You can also modify that to use 1 5-letter word lock and a key lock. This game was created to give engineering students an overview of the major engineering accomplishments in each branch throughout time before they dive in and study it in more detail. So the clues the students start out with, you could put these on their table or put them in an envelope, is the transportation clue, which opens the 3-digit lock. And this one is a riddle, and it talks about various people who've created transportation throughout time, like the brothers Wright, Newcomen and Watts, Ford, Otto Cycle. All these people contributed to engineering for transportation in some way. So, and there's also some dates at the bottom and some math for them to do with those dates. So once they have deciphered the riddle, they'll realize they need to put the dates with the person that it corresponds to, so it puts them in this order. And then once they have the dates in that order, they subtract and add according to the bottom part of the riddle, and it ends up with the answer, which is 578, and opens the 3-digit lock that is on the small lockbox. The other clues that they're given to start with is the weapons clue. And this one just looks like a document about things like fireworks and rocket power, and missiles and things like that. And at first glance, it doesn't seem like it does anything, but when the students look at it more closely, they will realize that certain letters are capitalized that should not be. So the first one is this P, an explosive, the O, an iron. When they put all of those letters in order, it spells out pointer, focus, and beam, which is a tribond type of clue. Those 3 words have the word laser in common, which also happens to work well with the fact that all of these little sections they're reading have to do with weapons engineering, and laser can be a weapon as well. And so that is one of the 5-letter locks, will be laser, and that is on the big lockbox. Another clue they're given right away is this crossword, and they can't actually do anything with their crossword until they open the small lockbox, because they need the black light flashlight to reveal which letters they need. But they can go ahead and fill it out. This tiny URL will lead them to information that will help them answer the crossword clues. And when it's filled in and they shine the black light on it, they will see these letters are lit up. And when you unscramble them, it spells solar, which I set another 5-letter lock to solar. If you do not have an additional 5-letter lock, you could always print out or draw a picture of a sun or a solar panel if you want it to be even more obvious, and tape a key to the key lock to that, because this game doesn't utilize the key lock. And since they all come with that, you could use that instead if you do not have a 5-letter lock that's extra that you could add. Once they've gone through these clues and they've opened the small box, they'll find the black light in there that they need for that crossword puzzle. And then they will find an additional clue, the computer clue. So this clue, when you print these out for your groups, you can print them out and then fold it in half and glue or laminate it. So one side has the QR code and the other side has the puzzle. When they watch the video that the QR code takes them to, it's all about computing history. And near the end, it talks about how ABC preceded ENIAC. And that is what they need to fill in right here. So it would be ABC and then spell out ENIAC. And they have the clue preceded to help them realize ABC preceded ENIAC. And then they have a second clue, text to hex. So once they've got their text of those letters, they were going to change that over to hexadecimal, each letter individually, and it does matter that they are capitalized. It'll be a different number if you put it in lowercase. But they have those numbers. For 4, it's really 4E for the N, but we left off the E, just adding the numbers. And when they add those two numbers and divide, they get 0.692, which opens the 4-digit lock on the large lockbox. The last clue they need to open the directional lock is not in any boxes or packets. It's just taped up around the room. You'll print out these colored arrows, and each colored arrow has a URL on it, and they are the same. It all goes to the same map, which I'll show you in a second. But they're various colors pointing either up or down. And so once they go to the tiny URL, it will take them to this map. And these are famous buildings in engineering history, like the Great Pyramid, Colosseum. And you guys will see that these all have a dominant color. So this is green, blue, orange, brown, gray, and so on. And so each building corresponds to an arrow color. So what students need to figure out is that they need to put the buildings in order from earliest to most recent, and then match them up with their arrows to figure out if it's up or down and what order it goes in. If you do not have the old directional lock that can go however many directions you choose, you could always drop 2 of the arrows so that you just have 5 arrows up in the room, and the students would need to figure out which buildings went with the arrows that are still present at this point. And so that modification would work with the new kits. And when students are done, they've opened all of those locks. Inside the final box, they'll find blueprints for a DeLorean time machine, and they have saved engineering from their evil boss by getting their time machine plans back. So I hope you enjoy the game. Save engineering, save the world.